All right, you're in game, or match 2, rather. No white, no blue, and some fairly color-intensive stuff. I should probably mulligan this. Mostly because this stuff's expensive. I mean, Seeker's good, but how many draws do I have that are actually good? Any land, so that's 15 draws. 16 with the Swift Spear. But that's not even that good of a draw. I think I need a white mana, or at least a couple of different mana. This hand just seems really sketchy to me. I mean, it's one of those hands that's like, I draw planes, it's amazing. If I don't draw planes, maybe I'm just saying it's not good because I'm coming off of a loss where I didn't find white mana the whole game. I do only have 7 white as well. We are on the draw. All right, I changed my mind. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to hope to find one of our white mana. If we don't, I'll accept it. I feel like it's a worse idea to change my game plan based on the last game that I played. But if we don't see a white mana and we draw a bunch of white spells, I'm certainly going to regret keeping it. All right, well, panned out perfect for us, so that's good. I mean, granted, we still need to draw more lands, but would say it works. It's working out reasonably well for us so far. All right, so I'm going to attack into that. If he blocks, like a Deflecting Palm, I think he won't block. Oh, well, never mind. Now we get to Banner. Banners are actually surprisingly good in Jeskai and Sultai. Sultai because it adds to your delve count. Jeskai because it adds to your prowess. Certainly interesting. Seeker doing what he does best. Now we're a land away from Sage of the Eye, so isn't that weird how rapidly a hand that looks like complete garbage can go to a really good hand? So we get the land, we play the Sage. We don't get the land, we play the Highspire Mantis. Or maybe we just play the Mantis anyway. Ooh. I see. All right. Disowned Ancestor. All right. Does in fact work. There's our 5th land, so I think we just go Sage and pass. Still might have been better to do the Highspire Mantis, because that's a target I'd rather him. Yeah, I think it actually would have been better to do the Highspire Mantis there. If he has removal, I would have preferred him to do it on my Mantis, not the guy that can gain me life and bring me back into this. So that does sort of make sense. All right, Kumar Bonkin. That is acceptable. We're essentially just a mob rule away from stealing it and gaining a bajillion life. I think, what are the colors that you get Death Touch with? Green or blue? All right, well, we've got the blue. All right, so now we have mob rule mana. So we could mob rule, which actually just seems like a fine play here. Gets us in for a ridiculous amount of damage. Gains us a ridiculous amount of life. Buys me some time. It feels safer, because if I don't do it now, and he has like a become immense or something, he can just kill us. But then again, I've got Deflecting Palm, so change my mind. We're just going to play High Spire Mantis. And I'm going to Deflecting Palm that fellow. Might be wondering, why am I attacking with Seeker of the Way? Well, I'm seeing if he plays around Ride Down. He did not, which is okay. So instead, we'll just deal some damage and pass. And we'll Deflecting Palm his Krumar Bonkin and steal it the following turn. So we don't even have to do the Deflecting Palm just yet either, which is nice. No blocks. See if he's got a play. No plays. All right, well, palming anyway. Maybe kills his own guy? That would be interesting. Force away it. All right. And Whirlwind Adapt. Well, thank God Mob Rule does not target. Okay. Playing against Sultai. He's playing Rune Mark, which is interesting choice. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I guess I've played against it already, so it's not that weird. But he's got some early game stuff. We still do not have that much of a sideboard. I guess Water Whirl's better against him, but we're still having the same problem where Water Whirl, double blue, doesn't seem all that realistic. So I guess our deck, we really don't have that much of a sideboard. I should just pretty much say that. We don't have much of a sideboard. All right. Well, I guess Swift Kick is an option, but not really feeling that either. So let's just, I guess Swift Kick does kill Disowned Ancestor, but only if it's unpumped. Swift Kick actually doesn't seem that bad. But he's in colors that have bounce and good removal. Let's just keep it the same. Okay, no red mana, which is awkward, but we have, God, how many hands with Mob Rule have I opened? Shu Yun and During Instigator morphed, so I think we keep it. We're just a red mana away from having all of our colors, so I think it's worthy of keeping. Do seem to be having more mana base issues than I assumed we would. All right, Student is certainly an acceptable draw. Outlasting, you got it. All right, Horde Chief's actually a pretty nice draw. So now, at the very least, I can attack with Student and get a little Horde Chief action going on. Don't need to play Shu Yun just yet. Karsi High Priest. All right. It's a pretty decent card. 4 cards left in my opponent's hand. As long as I can make it to the late game, I'm feeling pretty good with that Mob Rule. which, admitted, he does know about now, but that's okay. Let's attack with the student, see if he blocks. Kind of feel like he will, but hope he doesn't. Because Defiant Strike would be so good here. My opponent is unafraid. He's like, you don't have Defiant Strike, and I unhappily agree with him. All right, so decent board presence. We have all of our colors. All of this is good. If only Jeering Instigator could steal at instant speed, or rather on a different turn rather than my own. But would of course be too good. There was that new Phyrexia card that was like a colorless active treason that was instant speed. Yeah, that card was insane. And it was colorless in the sense that any deck could play it because it had the Phyrexian symbols, but I forget what it was called now. What do we got? Sultai Banner? All right. We're running a banner too, interestingly enough, since banners aren't played all that much. All right, lands are good. So could do Bloodfire Expert. We can do Morphed Instigator. Can drop Shu Yun. I guess Shu Yun's fine here. I think the reason to play Shu Yun is I actually have live draws that are actually pretty good with him. Like if I get a Feat of Resistance, I can give something double strike. So it's just something scary for him to think about. Doesn't work all that well with Mob Rule, since I would need 8 mana to get an ability out of it, but I don't see why not to play Shu Yun right now, especially since Jeering Instigator can't steal anything of substance at the moment. That's actually interesting. If I get 9 mana, Mob Rule plus Jeering Instigator to steal whatever I haven't already stolen. Mind Scour Dragon, well, that guy's a big deal. Gonna have to come up with a solution for that guy. Especially since it feeds his Delve as well. Kill Shot off the top would be pretty welcome here. Swift Spear, not quite as much. That's okay. Let's play the Swift Spear. Let's morph an Instigator. And I guess we pass at this point. So we are a land away from Mob Rule, which if we steal 2 or less would allow us to get in with everything, which is pretty good, but still not lethal, unfortunately. So I think we have to steal his Mind Scour Dragon first. Wish I had a sack outlet for it. He could also sack it in response, but I don't think he does that. Just trying to set up for a nice Mob Rule, but I need a couple components in order to do that. I need another red mana. And I need more stuff on the board. Alright. Making his Mind Scour Dragon bigger, which is going to be good for when we steal it. If there's a way I could steal it plus death, plus all right. Another banner. It's out of cards, though, which is good news. So, let's see here. Taking the Dargon. Not attacking with the Elder. He's going to mill himself as well, I have to presume. And I guess when we steal it, he's milling us? All right. Got rid of his Sage of the Inward Eye, which I would like, and got rid of our Kill Shot, which unfortunately is one of our very few outs against this. We do have Burn Away, though, which is a very realistic option. All right, so we have Mob Rule mana at this point. But I don't think we're ready for that just yet. So if I were to use Mob Rule right now, we'll do 2 or less, or 3 or less, rather. We get his dudes. He can't use this right now, which is certainly worthy of noting. We get prowess. Why don't we just do a quick count? So we would do 2, 4, 7, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15. That is not lethal. I think we start her off with the old Instigator on the Mind Scour Dragon. And I guess if our opponent's milling me, then I might as well mill him. Kind of indicates to me he doesn't have Delve. I don't think I could have swung more with more, really, profitably. All right, 2 can play at this mill game, fella. 4 lands? Couldn't have helped my opponent out more. All right, so play Bloodfire Expert and pass. Hoping we didn't just give my opponent nastiness, but I'm still feeling pretty confident about our mob rule play. I guess it's going to boil down to what he plays here. Oh, he's just cracking banners? No problem. Oh, he drew a land. Yeah. Makes sense. The nice thing about stealing 3 or less is he can't even really... He can Carsey High Priest in response, but it doesn't do anything. Card of Fierce Invocation. Okay. Well, I think we got to go for it. Don't really have a ton of options here. Guess I could play as Sky Captain first in case he's got a removal spell. Well, what's the math on this? We said we do 15 if I play Mob Rule, but could potentially have... Here's the problem. If he's got any sort of removal... Well, now we're dealing more damage, so I guess that doesn't matter. So let me do another count. I think it's just an additional 4 damage, so we're doing 19 instead of 15, which means... What does that mean? He kills our biggest guy. He still takes lethal. All right. Gonna take the 3 or less. Could have a counter spell. We'll see if he brought it. Yeah, I can't use it, so don't have the mana. Like I said, sacking in response is not going to work. Definitely swinging for the fences. Let me make sure. 2, 4, 6, 7, 11, 13, 15, 19, 20. Maybe I actually leave back a token. Because then it's not lethal if he has something ridiculous here. All right. Mob Rule for the win. Very nice. Yes, that match played very well for us because Mob Rule is a insane card that you should always take and play, in my opinion. All right. We'll see you in round 3.